Cancer season is upon us. It's time to come out of your shell and dare to unapologetically be you. Hello, beautiful people. Life can be a challenge, but at least we have each other. Yes, the sun will be transiting through the sign of Cancer, and during that 4-week period, Venus will be entering Gemini and then shifting into Cancer. That means it will be double intense for you when it comes to your world of relationships. So in this video, I will go over what you can expect when it comes to love and your life overall for your individual sign. And all I ask in return is that you give that like button a little tap. A baby tap. Okay, no more wasting time. Let's go. Now, Cancer season will begin when the sun enters Cancer on June 21st at 9:14 a.m. Universal Time, which will be 2:14 a.m. Pacific Time, 5:14 Eastern Standard Time, and for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, this will be 7:14 p.m. on June 21st in Sydney, Australia, and 11:14 a.m. on the same day in Johannesburg, South Africa. Gemini season was a mutable energy, bringing a phase of adapting and manifesting relative to the goals that you set for yourself during Aries season. Now, Cancer season is a cardinal energy which ushers us into another seed planting phase where you are meant to set new goals that support your overall vision for 2022. Using the Cancerian energy of imagination, of tenacity, and loyalty to stay true to yourself and true to your vision, creating a strong foundation to nurture those seeds of intention, guaranteeing forward movement and advancement as you continue through 2022. Now that you know the best way to harness the power of Cancer season, let's see what this energy of Cancer season, including those two Venus shifts on June 22nd into Gemini and July 17th into Cancer, what they will bring when it comes to love and life overall for your individual sign. Okay, my powerful Aries, when the sun shifts into Cancer, this will be in your 4th house. So this is the time of year, Aries, where you are meant to tend to your inner spiritual home and your outer physical home. If you find yourself feeling more emotional than usual, this is an indication that there's some healing that needs to take place. In the same way that there may need to be some repairs to your actual physical home during this time, there may also need to be some repairs made to your inner world. Now, I know for a lot of you, depending on where you live, this time of year is all about fun and letting go, but for you, Aries, it is very important that you give yourself the time and space needed to make sure that your foundation regarding your home is secure and provides you with the support that you need. If you've been thinking about moving, this could be a great time to do so. And even if that financially is not in the cards for you right now, it will be very beneficial for you to just move things around and restructure the energy of your home. So do not put this off, because although you are on the go a lot, Aries, your home base is very important in terms of how it affects your overall energetic vibration. Now, when it comes to love, we have that double Venus transit. It will first be entering Gemini on June 22nd, which will be in your 3rd house. So when it comes to love, the initial energy will be very strong for you relative to meeting someone new. That is, if you are single and you're wanting to manifest love, because not only will you be riding that wave of the full moon energy still, but this 3rd house transit points to the possibility being very high for you to meet someone through a sibling or through a friend or through taking a short trip. Now, if you're already in a relationship, this 3rd house transit indicates that the communication between you and your significant other will be very fluid and connecting, and this also indicates that the two of you may benefit financially in some way by taking a short trip together. Also, if you're involved with social media in any way, this 3rd house Venus transit indicates that you could get a boost to your following because it's an overall favorable energy for you in that area, Aries. Then Venus will be entering Cancer on July 17th, which will slow down this energy a bit and bring that focus back to your home life and with your relationship with your family members. So after July 17th, the energy won't be so strong for meeting someone new, and it will be much more focused on healing the relationships and the connections that you have with your family members. And if you are in a relationship, you and your significant other will be much more inclined to want to spend more time at home together, talk about your home space and if there's any changes that you want to make together. And if you're thinking of moving, well, this really amps up the probability that if you do, the outcome will be very favorable. So the 4 weeks of Cancer season is going to be a healing, grounding time for you, Aries, with some opportunities for love on the onset, but the overall energy is recharging and establishing a strong spiritual and physical foundation for your home life. So live it up, love it up, and happy Cancer season, Aries. Okay, my powerful Taurus. When the sun shifts into Cancer for you, this will be in your third house. So Taurus, be ready for a surge of creative energy to come your way along with a bit of chaotic energy. Now, the chaotic energy is nothing to be nervous about. This is just referring to the fact that during the 4 weeks of Cancer season, you will have a lot going on socially. People will be hitting you up more than usual to get together. Your workload may pick up. Your family will be wanting you to spend more time with them, etc. So it will be very important for you, Taurus, to make sure that you are managing your energetic output, or it will be very easy to start feeling drained and overwhelmed. This is an overall positive transit for you though, so although it may be busy, it is lending to positive outcomes regarding these interactions and these areas of your life. The only thing to be a bit cautious of is if you have any issues that are lingering, any sort of negative energy with a neighbor. It can reach a fever pitch during this time, resulting in a conflict. So you can get ahead of this by either deciding to not give the situation any energy at all, or by taking the initiative now to communicate with the necessary person to hopefully reach a compromise and resolution. If you take the opportunity to take a short trip during this time, Taurus, it could result in very positive connections for your future manifesting goals. Now, when it comes to love, Taurus, this Cancer season will start off with Venus shifting into Gemini on June 22nd, which will be in your second house. So if you're single and you're looking for love, you may very well run into a potential love interest at a bank or some sort of financial institution, or you can meet someone through some sort of financial dealings. Now, if you're already in a relationship, be ready for some conversations around money to come up for the two of you, so that way you can resolve that and get on the same page. And it's very possible for the two of you to come into some money if Venus is making an especially positive aspect for both of your charts. Aside from that, just make sure that if you get the urge to make a huge purchase during this time, which is very likely for that urge to come up, that you really think it through before you make your final decision. Not because it's a bad idea, but because this is a time to really amplify your connection with financial abundance, especially while riding the wave of that recent super full moon. So you want to be very conscious of where you're putting your energy regarding finances. Now, although the energy for love will be pretty good at the start of Cancer season, it will really pick up for you on July 17th when Venus shifts into Cancer, which will be in your third house. If you are single, not only will your prospects for love pick up, but you might find yourself heavily attracted to more than one person during this time and finding it difficult to choose which person is going to get more of your energy. But just know the potential for romantic connection will be very high for you, Taurus, during this time. If you're already in a relationship, this will lend to the two of you having stronger communication, or if lack of communication has been a lingering issue, this will be the time to address it with the potential for the most favorable outcome. So overall, Taurus, Cancer season is promising to be a very exciting time for you, with potential for new experiences, potential for new opportunities, and definitely some very strong energy around romance. So live it up, love it up, and happy Cancer season, Taurus. Okay, my powerful Geminis, when the sun shifts into Cancer for you, Geminis, this will be in your second house. So Gemini, this is the most important time of year for you to focus on money. The sun's energy is extremely strong during this time when it comes to assisting you in terms of attracting financial abundance, and also when it comes to bringing clarity to you creating a financial plan, and when it comes to bringing you guidance in terms of investment possibilities. Not to mention, you will still be riding the wave of that super full moon energy, which also had a strong influence on being able to clear up any blocks that you may have with money if that has been an issue in your life. Now, much of the time when there are lessons to be learned in a certain area, challenging issues may arise to facilitate change. So if you have some unexpected expenses that do show up during this time, don't get too worked up about it. Don't think from a place of lack. Just tap into that part of you that understands the flow of abundance and do your best to let go of any attachment to money in order to open up the channels and the flow for more abundance to come your way. Also, the second house can be connected to your self-worth. So check in with yourself, Gemini, and make sure that you know your worth and that you're willing to ask for what you deserve and that you feel worthy to receive it. This is also an important piece of the wealth manifesting puzzle. So just know the 4 weeks of Cancer season is for sure an opportunity to level up financially. Now, when it comes to love, Venus will be shifting into Gemini on June 22nd, which will be in your first house. So if you are single and you're looking for love, this is great news because your power of attraction and your attractiveness will get a huge energetic boost. Your confidence will be feeling the surge surge, and your physical ambition to get out and allow the universe to create the necessary opportunities in order for you to manifest love will also be elevated. So this is a great transit for love, Gemini. Now, if you're already in a relationship, this will serve to boost your certainty in the connection, and it will just reinvigorate the spark of attraction that the two of you have for each other. Now, this excitement won't last too long because on July 17th, Venus will be entering Cancer, which is in your second house. So if you're in a relationship, this will have the two of you focusing on finances, which isn't necessarily the sexiest topic, but it is a necessary one. So use it as an opportunity to get on the same page when it comes to this area of the relationship. Now, if you're single, it is going to deepen your urge to make sure that the relationship that you do manifest for yourself is one that you feel stable and secure in, not only emotionally, but when it does come to the financial aspect of the relationship. So if you did meet someone new and Venus was in your first house, you'll start to be a bit more analytical about this person in terms of them having long-term potential, which can be a good thing when it comes to making sure that you're making the right decision for yourself. So overall, Geminis, this Cancer season is going to be one that really benefits you financially, either by financial gain or giving you the opportunity to resolve any financial issues or remove any blocks that you have in that area. And it has some pretty good prospects for romance as well. So live it up, love it up, and happy Cancer season, Gemini. Okay, my powerful Cancerians, the wait is over. Your season is finally here, and I want to wish all of you beautiful Cancerians out there a rebirth filled with abundance, with laughter, new enriching experiences, true connection, good times, and most of all, love. Now, when the sun enters Cancer, this will be in your first house. So this is your reinvention time, Cancers. This is a time where you can truly let go of the past and the narrative that is connected to it and begin to redefine who you are in terms of how you want to approach life. If you've been saying to yourself lately that you need to get back into doing the things that you know are good for you and that you enjoy, like a good health routine or engaging in the hobbies that you know bring you fulfillment, or anything that supports you enjoying and living life to the fullest, then now is the time for you to get back into those things. You will still be riding the wave of the full supermoon up until June 28th when the new moon comes around, so your manifesting power will be on fire. So this means you can attract love, new job opportunities, heal challenging relationships, and this is really your strongest time of year to embrace your personal power and use it to your benefit. And speaking of love, at the start of your season, Venus will be shifting into Gemini on June 22nd, which will be in your 12th house. So if you're single and you're looking for love, if there is a connection that you manifest during that time, you may have the urge to keep the relationship a secret for a while to protect the energy. Now, the positive thing about this 12th house Venus transit is it can lead to attracting a love with a true soulmate potential, which again goes hand in hand with that previous full moon energy. And this rings true for those of you that are already in a relationship as well, because the 12th house energy lends to the two of you really deepening the connection to that soulmate level. Now, this does also mean that if they are not the one, this will be amplified more than ever, which can be challenging to deal with. But if this is the case, what better time to cut ties and start new than during your birthday season? Now, the romance magic really begins to take hold when Venus shifts into your sign on July 17th, because this will be in your first house. So if you are already in a relationship, this can reinvigorate the connection, and it also brings a very favorable energy for attracting money, which always makes love and life more exciting. And for those of you that are single and looking for love, this will connect with that sun's energy in the first house and ignite your attractiveness and your confidence, and it will serve to amp up the probability for you manifesting the love that you desire. Now, this first house Venus transit will also bring the energy of healing to any challenging relationships that you do have in your life. So this is an excellent time to resolve any issues, so that way you are not carrying around any emotional baggage or any emotional heaviness as you're moving forward during your season. So this is your time, Cancers. Make sure to make the most of it. The stars have aligned to ignite a fresh start, but make sure to do your part by releasing any connection that you have to any thought patterns that you know undermine your manifesting power. Only think of what it is that you want, and only think of how to go about getting it, and only think that it's possible and that you deserve it, because all of those things are very true. So live it up, love it up, happy birthday, and happy Cancer season. Okay, my powerful Leos, when the sun shifts into Cancer for you, this will be in your 12th house. Okay, Leos, it is that time of year for you where it's all about soul searching. Gemini season brought some great opportunities for you, maybe a little chaos also, but nothing too heavy or too negative. But it did bring a lot of energy, and the reason for this is because leading into Cancer season, it gives you the opportunity to really look at at your life and ask yourself what it is you truly want for this next chapter when your season comes around. You want to be ready for your rebirth by taking an honest look at what you've manifested in your life and what you want to continue to grow and what you want to stop giving energy to because it no longer brings you the fulfillment that you deserve. So if any heavy emotions come up for you during the 12th house transit, or if you feel like you want to retreat from the world a bit during Cancer season, Leos, this is absolutely okay because it is a time where you are meant to give yourself the opportunity to take a bit of a spiritual retreat. This way you can come out on the other side of that retreat feeling recharged and having the clarity of what you want in your life moving forward. Now, when it comes to your world of romance, although you may be going through a spiritual awakening, the first part of Cancer season does have a very strong energy around your romance sector, Leos. Venus will be shifting into Gemini on June 22nd, which will be in your 11th house. So if you are single and you're wanting to manifest love, this brings a very high probability that you may be introduced to a new love interest through a friend. The good news is you will be much more likely to start off pretty slowly, wanting to establish a mental connection. I say a good thing because during your 12th house sun transit, it will be good to take any new romance slow. That way, when your season does come around, you can decide if this person has the potential to be something more to you, and that way you can take it to the next level. Now, if you're already in a relationship, this 11th house Venus transit will lend to you and your significant other wanting to be more social and wanting to blend your friends groups a bit more, which is always a productive and connecting thing if you can make that work. Now, when Venus shifts into Cancer on July 17th, this will be in your 12th house. So this is where the intensity of Venus will really start to match the intensity of the sun's energy, which as a side note will really boost your intuitive powers considerably, Leo. So make sure that during this time to really check in with that inner voice of yours if you need guidance or if you have any important decisions to make. Now, if you are single and you do happen to meet someone new during this time, it will be a much more low-key connection, meaning the two of you might feel like you're in your own little bubble and you both will just want to keep it away from the world for a while, and that's perfectly fine as long as you don't stay in that bubble forever. If you're already in a relationship, this 12th house energy can serve to assist both of you in opening up more and understanding each other on a much deeper level. So if there's anything you've been holding back that you know you want to share with your significant other, this 12th house Venus transit could be the perfect time for you to open up and do so. So overall, Leos, this Cancer season is going to be a spiritually transformative period with some opportunities for serious clarity and for some romance, but overall see it as an important time of preparation for your rebirth season. So make sure that you stay present, that you give yourself what you need in terms of time and space for clarity, and live it up, love it up, and happy Cancer season, Leos. Okay, my powerful Virgos. When the sun shifts into Cancer for you, this will be in your 11th house. So Virgos, this is finally a time where that incredible energy of the sun is bringing focus to your house of dreams coming true. So this is going to be a highly productive and transformative 4 weeks for you, Virgo, meaning you will find yourself having some sort of opportunity or opportunities to really help move you forward in terms of what you've been working hard to manifest. It could also be a time where it not just moves you forward, but it actually materializes. Not to mention, at the start of Cancer season, you will be riding the energy of that super full moon wave, which further will amplify your manifesting power. So lucky you, Virgos. Now make sure you're playing your part though by breaking away from old routines and making sure to try new things. So if any opportunity comes up for you to step outside of your comfort zone and try a different approach to something, make sure you take it. Also keep an eye out to make a new friend or deepen a connection with an acquaintance, because making that connection may lead to them playing an influential role in your life. Now, when it comes to your world of romance, Virgos, Venus will be shifting into Gemini on June 22nd, which will be in your 10th house. So if you're single, the first part of Gemini season doesn't have a very strong energy for manifesting new love. It does indicate an attraction to someone that is older than you, and it does also bring favorable energy to your connections and relationships relative to your world of career. This is whether you're single or in a relationship. Now, this 10th house Venus transit is very favorable for your professional world, so this could also mean some money coming your way. Now, things in the world of romance do begin to really pick up when Venus shifts into Cancer. Cancer on July 17th, because this will join the sun in your 11th house. So if you are single and you've been wanting to manifest love, this amps up the probability considerably and points to you meeting someone through a friend connection, either being introduced to that person through a friend or meeting them when you're out with your friends. Now, if you're already in a relationship, this 11th house transit is not only good for your relationship with your significant other in terms of you two getting along really well and wanting to get out and be social, but it's also very positive for your personal connection with your own friends and your social circle. So Virgos, Cancer season overall is going to be one of your most favorable and positive times of year when it comes to you manifesting your goals. And if love is one of those goals, then really keep your eyes and hearts open for that sort of connection to manifest around that July 17th date. So live it up, love it up, and happy Cancer season, Virgos. Okay, my powerful Libras, when the sun shifts into Cancer for you, this will be in your 10th house. So Libras, it is that time of year for you to get clear when it comes to your career. Don't be surprised if you start to focus more on this area of your life, and actually, if you aren't naturally inclined to do so, just know it will be beneficial for you to give this area some energy, because this is the time of year where the stars have aligned to bring you clarity, to bring you positive movement, and overall support to your world of career. Also look at it this way. Once you have clarity in that area, you can release any anxiety that you may have around that topic and get back to doing the things that you love and the things that bring you fulfillment. If you're satisfied with your job, this could be a good time to ask for a raise and receive a favorable outcome. And if you're unhappy with your job, this is a great time to start looking into what other opportunities might be out there for you, because the probability of other options being revealed to you is very high. Now, this is also a strong energy for you manifesting more financial abundance, which also goes hand in hand with that recent super full moon energy. Now, when it comes to love, Venus will be shifting into Gemini on June 22nd, which will be in your 9th house. So if you are single and you're looking for love and you have the opportunity to travel, take it, Libras, because the probability of meeting a romantic interest during your travels is very high. And even if you don't travel, it's very possible that you might attract someone into your life from a different background or a different culture that does have some romantic potential. Now, if you're already in a relationship, this could be the perfect time for the two of you to explore new cultures together. It's also a great time, Libras, for you to take a course of some sort to expand your knowledge in some area. Then Venus will shift into Cancer on July 17th. So the first part of Cancer season is going to be much more exciting for you than the second part of Cancer season, because towards the end of Cancer season, Venus will make that transit into your 10th house, which when it comes to love isn't extremely strong in terms of meeting someone new, but it isn't completely off the table. If you're single, you may meet someone connected to your job in some way, either while you're actively on the job, or you may be introduced to them through a coworker. Now, if you're already in a relationship, the 10th house transit will serve to bring about an opportunity where you and your significant other may have the chance to work on a project together that could yield great financial results, or you two may come across an opportunity to go into a very lucrative investment together. Either way, a 10th house transit may not be too strong for romance, but it is great for financial flow, so nothing wrong with that. So overall, this Cancer season looks like a 4-week period that will bring opportunities for clarity, for abundance relative to your career, and some energy around romance, but no heavy waves there in the love department. So responsibility and consistency will be the theme for you Libras out there. So live it up, love it up, and happy Cancer season. Okay, my powerful Scorpios, when the sun shifts into Cancer for you, this will be in your 9th house. So finally, Scorpios, some extremely positive energy coming your way. I know the last few seasons have been really challenging for you, and we know that life is all about ebb and flow, but get ready for the flow. The 9th house sun transit is bringing new discoveries to your life. If you have the opportunity to travel during this time, Scorpios, definitely take it, because it could serve to bring a life-changing experience for you. If you aren't traveling during the 4 weeks of Cancer season, make sure to keep your eye out for a connection with someone from a different culture or a different background than you that has the potential to have a major influence in your life. This is a time, Scorpios, for you to shed old belief systems and open yourself up to new understandings. It is very important for you to reignite your optimism during this time. When life brings you difficult experiences, it is natural for you to begin believing that life is just more difficult for you than it is for other people. But it is so important to remind yourself that each day is full of new potential and it's full of new opportunities, and the way that you look at life has so much to do with what will manifest for you. So if you want to see change, you really have to begin to change your perspective. And I know you have every reason to see the world the way that you see it, based based on your experiences. However, you still have to tap into that optimism and truly believe that things will get better. This is also a time for you to deepen your spiritual connection, Scorpios. So whatever your spiritual practice is, the 4 weeks of Cancer season is the perfect energy to reconnect and make sure you are staying consistent with that practice, because not only will it assist you in staying grounded, but during this time, your intuitive powers will get a major boost, and this will only serve to assist you in having certainty that the choices that you're making for yourself are the right ones. Now, when it comes to love, Scorpios, Cancer season will start off with Venus shifting into Gemini on June 22nd, which will be in your 8th house. So this will absolutely serve to deepen your desire when it comes to finding love if you're single. And if you're already in a relationship, this will definitely serve to deepen your desire to have a more meaningful connection with the person that you're in a relationship with. It also lends to any physical connections that you make during this time period. It lends to them having a much deeper meaning to them. And as a side note, this 8th house Venus transit is also fantastic for business dealings and having a financial boost, so that's always an added bonus. But when it comes to love, things will only be getting started, because on July 17th, Venus will shift into Cancer, and this will be in your 9th house, which will not only bring a wave of freedom to your overall disposition, but it will for sure heighten the possibility of meeting a new love interest, especially if you're taking any sort of new course or if you're traveling, like I mentioned earlier. And if you're already in a relationship, this will be a time where you will really desire new experiences for you and the person that you're in a relationship with. So making sure to do something that the two of you have never done before can really prove to not only bring the two of you closer together, but it could also prove to attract a new opportunity to your life in terms of your overall goals for the year. So Cancer season is really looking like a time where things are really going to turn around for you, Scorpio, and put you in a momentum of good fortune, of new experiences and transformation, with some excitement in the world of romance as well. So live it up, love it up, and happy Cancer season, Scorpios. Okay, my powerful Sagittarians, when the sun shifts into Cancer for you, this will be in your 8th house. So Sagittarius, this is your 4-week period of spiritual transformation. This is the one time of year where anything that needs to come to light will be brought to the light in order for you to be able to face it, to process it, and to transform that energy and then release any negative energy around it. This could mean anything from a secret that you've been keeping for fear that if someone found out, it could have a negative consequence in your life, to feelings that you may have about something that you've suppressed because you haven't wanted to face the issue for fear that the pain would be far too much to bear. And I know this all sounds really intense, but it can be intensely good, because if you embrace this opportunity, you will come out on the other side of the 4 weeks of Cancer season feeling lighter and feeling more empowered than ever. Now, as a Sagittarius, you are naturally pretty good at taking things as they come, and you're good at dealing with them and then just moving on. But as a Sagittarius, you also like to be in control of everything. So if you feel like it's something you can't control, you sometimes just push it to the side and move on. Well, now is the time to spiritually clean house. This could mean situations relative to your relationships, relative to your work or your career, or just the relationship that you have with yourself. Wherever this unhappiness is, or wherever you are feeling lack in your life, this is going to be amplified during this 4 weeks of Cancer season. So be excited, because facing these things means they will no longer be a source of unhappiness in your life, and instead they will be a door to the change that you've been looking for. Now, when it comes to love, on June 22nd, Venus will be shifting into Gemini. So during your time of spiritual transformation, it could be very possible that you meet someone new if you're single, which makes sense because much of the time we learn our greatest lessons from relationships. So keep your eyes and your hearts open for that sort of experience. Now, if you're already in a romantic relationship and there are any unresolved issues, be ready for them to hit a fever pitch, not only because of the 7th house Venus transit, but because of the sun's energy in the 8th house. Just make sure to keep in mind when any issues come up that you want to approach the situation from figuring out what the solution is, as opposed to placing any sort of blame. Identifying the root of an issue is fine, but make sure to come with a solution that involves both people making adjustments and compromises, because this way you're both putting a new energy into the future that the two of you have together. Now, Venus will make a second shift on July 17th into Cancer, which will be joining the sun in the 8th house, which is the perfect follow-up for that 7th house energy, because it will serve to amp up your sexual desire and to connect on a more spiritual level if you're already in a relationship. And if you're working to manifest a relationship, your energy will be much more likely to attract a connection of substance as opposed to just a physical connection. Now, aside from love, this 8th house Venus energy is excellent for investments in terms of business, and it's just good overall for financial gain. So Sagittarius, this 4 weeks of Cancer season is going to be intense, potentially life-changing in a positive way if you embrace the flow of this energy, and it can also bring bring some money your way. So live it up, love it up, and happy Cancer season, Sagittarius. Okay, my powerful Capricorns, it is that time of year where the sun goes into the polar opposite energy of your sign, so your Capricorn energy will be greatly diminished during the 4 weeks of Cancer season. For example, if you're a Capricorn with Taurus moon and Pisces rising, then the 4 weeks of Cancer season, you will be operating much more from your Taurus moon and your Pisces rising. So you may be feeling more emotional than usual and a bit off balance. So it will be extremely important to make sure that you have your go-to activities and your spiritual practices that you know help recalibrate you on standby. Now, it could be a good thing that you're feeling more emotional during Cancer season, because when the sun shifts into Cancer, it will be in your 7th house, which is the house of relationships. So Capricorn, don't be surprised if during the 4 weeks of Cancer season, you find yourself being called upon by the relationships in your life more than usual. Remember, balance and healthy boundaries is the key to peace and fulfillment. This will be a time where if there are any relationships that have unresolved issues, those situations will be amplified in an attempt to bring about the opportunity for change. And this is whether they're work relationships, family relationships, or romantic relationships. The good news is the 7th house assists in positive communication and a greater understanding and a more compassionate vibe overall. So if there's any time of year to tend to these sort of issues for you, there's no better time than Cancer season. You just have to be conscious of the fact that your Capricorn energy will be greatly diminished, so it will be very important to balance your emotional perspective with your logical perspective. The 7th house is also a positive energy for resolving legal matters, so if that is something that you're dealing with, there is a high possibility that you won't be dealing with it much longer, or you will at least have more clarity regarding the issue at hand. Now, when it comes to love, yes, the sun will be giving energy to your romantic relationships, but Venus will also have an influence as it enters into Gemini on June 22nd, which will be in your 6th house. And that influence doesn't do much for meeting someone new if you're single, so you'll have to lean much more on the sun's energy for that sort of connection. However, whether you are single or in a relationship, the 6th house Venus transit is a positive energy for your health and bringing harmony to your professional world. So it does have a favorable influence, just not so much when it comes to love. However, during the 4 weeks of Cancer season, Venus will make a second shift into Cancer on July 17th, which will join the sun in your 7th house. So this will be excellent for love and meeting someone new if you're single. And if you're already in a relationship, this can for sure deepen that connection and improve the communication between the two of you. So Capricorns, be ready for the 4 weeks of Cancer season to be an emotional time, but in a positive way, where you can get the opportunity to really improve upon and focus on the relationships in your life with a nice support from Venus when it comes to your health and your career in the midst of all of that. So live it up, love it up, and happy Cancer season, Capricorns. Okay, my powerful Aquarians, when the sun shifts into Cancer for you, this will be in your 6th house. So Aquarius, this is that time of year where your health really comes into focus. So if there's any health issue that you've been ignoring, make sure to tend to it during the 4 weeks of Cancer season, or it can prove to be a much worse issue moving forward. Now, if there are no lingering health issues, this is great news, but just know that the 6th house is also a great energy for amping up your health-related routines, whether it be related to physical health, your mental health, or keeping your spiritual connection consistent and at the forefront of your consciousness. Now, the 6th house also brings into focus your daily activities. So if you find that you are not making the headway that you want to be making regarding your goals, Aquarius, then this is the perfect time to ask yourself what you can start doing on a daily basis to make sure that you are focusing your energy in the right direction. And it doesn't always have to be something related to work or career goals. It could be any area of your life that you want to improve. Embracing the idea that where your focus goes, your energy flows, and whatever gets consistent energy will yield consistent results. So Cancer season is the perfect time to structure your days to support your overall vision for 2022. Now, when it comes to love, on June 22nd, Venus will be shifting into Gemini, which will be in your 5th house. So Aquarius, this is an excellent transit for love. And if you're single, the probability of meeting someone new is extremely high with a 5th house transit. Even if you're already in a romantic relationship, the 5th house Venus energy brings positivity and opportunities just for having a good time in your relationship, for the connection to deepen, and for you being the one who's being pursued in both areas, whether you're single or whether you're in a relationship. And that's always fun. Now, it would be nice if it could, but this energy is not going to last forever, because during the 4 weeks of Cancer season, Venus will be shifting into Gemini, then out of Gemini and into Cancer on July 17th. So basically until the end of Cancer season. But once it does, it brings a favorable energy because it joins the sun, influencing your health and work sector of life, which I'm sure is a welcomed influence. But when it comes to love, you want to make sure sure and capitalize on that Gemini Venus transit. So mark that time frame in your calendar so you can make sure to get out and enjoy that 5th house transit. So overall for you Aquarians, the 4 weeks of Cancer season looks like a time for planning, a time for clarity, for dealing with your health in the most positive way possible, and also some definite opportunities for romance. So live it up, love it up, and happy Cancer season, Aquarius. Okay, my powerful Pisces, when the sun shifts into Cancer for you, this will be in your 5th house. So finally, Pisces, some very positive energy is coming your way during the 4 weeks of Cancer season, and it's not about work, and it's not about money necessarily, or learning any life lessons. It's all about having fun. It's about reminding yourself that yes, it is important to set goals, and it is important to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be in terms of reaching your potential. However, it is also just as important, if not more important, to enjoy the process. This is about reconnecting to the hobbies and activities that you know reinvigorate your soul, Pisces. This is a 4-week period where you can allow yourself a bit of a vacation from the daily grind. And I know that life is still happening and that you still have responsibilities, but in the midst of those responsibilities, if you find yourself feeling overwhelmed or if you find yourself feeling stressed out, recognize that first you need to take a deep breath and remind yourself to not take life too seriously, and then you'll instantly start feeling lighter. But then embrace the understanding that much of the pressure that you feel is pressure that you're putting on yourself. So use this 4 weeks of Cancer season to get used to the idea of balancing your ambition with your enjoyment while tending to your responsibilities and giving energy to the things that you need to give energy to, but making sure that one of those things on that list of priorities is your well-being and your happiness. If you're a parent, this is a great time for connecting with your kids. Aside from that, the 5th house is also a great transit for learning or picking up a new skill. So that could be one option in terms of taking on something that's just for enjoyment. Now, when it comes to love, Venus will be shifting into Gemini on June 22nd, which will be in your 6th house, which doesn't bring much energy in terms of meeting someone new if that's what you're hoping for. But if you're single, just know that all hope is not lost, because the sun's 5th house transit is excellent for love and for amping up the possibility for attracting new love. So at least the sun going through Cancer season is definitely going to help you in that area. And if you're already in a relationship, the 6th house Venus transit more than likely will bring up an opportunity for the two of you to work together on some sort of project that could definitely in some way benefit the two of you in the future. Now, things do get much more exciting regarding love towards the end of Cancer season when Venus shifts into Cancer on July 17th, which will join the sun in your 5th house. And a 5th house Venus transit actually has very high probability for meeting someone new. So this is great news for those of you that have love on your manifesting list. And this will also be riding the wave of that new moon in Cancer energy, which will also be in your 5th house. So this also is very positive for those of you that are already in a relationship, because it supports a strong connection and opportunities to have fun together and really reignite the flame between the two of you. So Pisces, Cancer season has set the stage for you to have a well-deserved good time. So live it up, love it up, and happy Cancer season, Pisces. Okay, so there you have it. What to expect for love and your life overall during this Cancer season from June 21st to July 22nd. So let's stay focused on making the choices that lead to the actions that support your truth and will assist you in manifesting the things that you desire and definitely deserve. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget the baby tap. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang out with me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.